Okay, we're live here, and we've identified the problem, I think, or at least identified where we can start identifying the problem.
Mm-hmm.
We want to change it so that that first instructor variable.
Yes.
To be the first one enrolled in the course.
Okay.
Should instead be fetched from the course's user's record rather than the user record. So where is that? Where is the place where it's coming from the course's user's record, and it should be coming from the user's record?
Yeah, I think.
Do you have any ideas about that? I'm looking too.
No, I'm trying to figure out what the
Okay. Course. Instructors first. Yeah.
We got a variable course that instructors.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think the line 15, in line 15.
Yeah, first instructors.
First instructor is defined. Yes.
Yeah.
It is from course instructor first. It's looking at the first instructor in the,
right.
Related to this course. Okay. So what it's supposed to be? Not the first one. Not the first.
Yeah, he's saying it's not necessarily the first one enrolled in the course, but it should be. So why isn't it, and how do we make it be? The other question is, how would we even test for that? You know, since we should probably write a test.
Yes, we should do it.
But I just want to see where it's even happening first. First instructor.
Yeah, and then
course.instructors.first. So we should probably look at course. Do you think?
Yes, yes.
And that's a model. We should look in the models, I would say, for that.
So we go to the app models course. Has many instructors.
Yeah.
So we should look now into instructors.
Maybe.
But there's no model for instructors.
Well, it has many instructors through courses users.
Okay.
Right. So for somehow every course has instructors saved on it, right? And the way to find that is through courses users, which is sort of the junction table, I would say. You know SQL, right?
Sorry?
You know, SQL? It's like an SQL thing, right? So
yes.
In a sense, we're looking at courses users as a as the what they might call the junction table. So where do we get all the instructors? I mean, I think it's probably the case that we have a method in courses called instructors, which is why we were able to dereference it off the course instance and the other file. Do you think I'm barking up the wrong tree here? Think I'm right?
Maybe, yes, yes.
So I'm looking at possibly finding instructors.
In course RB.
That's right.
Say.
But there's actually, it says has many. That's the only place that.
Where courses user role.
The only place
One,
instructors is mentioned in course RB is the has many. Now, does has many, does that set up a method?
Sorry, I don't understand.
Has many.
Yeah.
When you define that at the top of a Ruby class, does that automatically set up a method that you can use to
No, I don't think so.
access? Okay, well that's odd because that's the only place the word instructors shows up in that entire file that defines the class is in the has many. And yet, we're able to dereference instructors from a course object, from the instance. So that must mean that's what happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got to be. Yeah, because it will be a.
I'm looking at in user RB.
Yeah.
You have the module permissions in line around 40.
Yeah.
Around line 40. Known admin and instructor. Instructor.
Which is equal to 2. I don't. How is that relevant? Sorry.
I mean, so instructor is a user that has permission to. That's.
Oh, okay. I understand. That's what an instructor is. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So it's a user. But basically, yeah. I think when we're the line that says first instructor and then it says instructors, courses instructors first, isn't that just looking at the first element in the array that is fetched from using active record on courses of all the instructors?
Yes.
So I guess the idea is maybe we should be a little bit more specific about which one we want to select. Does that make sense?
Yes. I mean, do you know, can we use the terminal to see what the content of the course variable is?
Yeah. Yeah. Can you do that? Just open up IRB and then load the
yes,
object.
How we did that? Sorry,
well,
I am
maybe a Rails terminal, but I can't remember exactly what the Rails terminal. Let's see. What do you do? How do you get the Rails command line open? Rails console. The Rails space console. So if you're in the same directory, then that should work. Do it 2 here.
Oh, I haven't Rails installed.
You don't have Rails installed?
No.
Okay. All right. Let me do that then. So yeah, I guess my problem is, but since I have the thing running and we want to be able to look at it, it might be a little bit more difficult to also look at the Rails console.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
Uh,
As I finished the advanced course in September, I think I haven't touched anymore in Rails or Ruby.
so you uninstalled Rails after you finished the course?
No, no. I have to. I had to reinstall the whole my system in this laptop a couple of weeks ago. So I have almost a lot of things that I still have to install. So
I see. All right. Okay. So I think, so bypassing the issue of the Rails console, how do you think, what do you think would be a good, useful way to test whether we're actually, I think the test would be a little bit difficult to write, because if we write an RSpec test that tests whether whether we're actually getting the first
okay.
instructor that had joined the course versus just the first one in the list that was created for the object, we'd have to add some. We'd have to add some instructors.
Yes, we need
and
to
then
block some or stop.
yeah, and then sort of use the yeah. This is a bit more complicated than the description on the.
We thought, yes.
Yeah, or than we thought anyway. Presumably, since it's near the lower level of complication, then
I don't
other
know.
problems are considerably more complicated.
Yeah,
Which is good to know. All right, so let's at least try to identify the file, the spec file that we might want to edit in order to write a test that tests whether or not we're getting the first user that joined the course or just the first user in the list.
Yes. So
maybe spec directory, perhaps. There we are. And then we're probably going to test. It's in that. It's in that. It's in lib. Yeah. Right. The thing we're trying to test.
I'm not sure if we need to test an action controller.
It's in lib, I think. Remember? No. No. In spec lib. I'm sorry, being unclear. I guess. Don't you think? Doesn't that make sense? Yeah, because that's where we found the thing we might want to change. You understand?
Yes. And then into live.
Remember what the name of the? Well, do you remember what the name of the file is we're looking at in live?
Yes, wiki course output.
There you go.
Wiki course output spec.
Am I wrong? I do, because I think that's where we want to define the first instructor.
Yes.
And we want to change how that's defined so that it. Now, I don't know if my understanding of the problem is perfectly correct, but I think. All right.
Yes. So we have describe wiki course output, and we have instructor, course instructor.
Right. So those are just tests that tell us that that's just kind of the beginning stuff, right? The setup. All right. So let's take a look. See, I mean, maybe we want to create a test there. Maybe we don't. I think so, though.
We should, but really.
Well, let's figure it out, or at least let's come up with some ideas anyway. Wiki course output specs. So we have describe wiki course, describe translate course to wiki text. That's not what we want. Blah blah blah. Blah, blah, blah. Sets up all this stuff. Course description, create course user. Blah, blah. When the course has no weeks. It excludes the timeline for a course with no weeks. Okay, so we should maybe just try to write a a test at the bottom.
Yes,
that,
but
that's blah blah blah. Translate course to wiki text, blah blah. And so it returns a wiki text version of the course. That's fine. So it should, when the course has no weeks, blah blah blah. Context. I don't understand the.
I think we should be out of this context.
I'm sorry.
I think we should be out. I mean, we should be inside describe wiki course output do.
Yeah.
And then create a new describe.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. I like that.
Mm-hmm. And what should be the
let's see, describe. It returns first user. It returns first instructor to join the course.
First instructor, okay.
Or it not returns, but it gets the first instructor to join the course.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So where should it be? It should be before the last two end or something, yeah?
Sorry?
I don't know. Where are you thinking of putting it in the file?
I think we should do something like let templates do, and then it defines of elements, editor, instructor.
Oh, really?
You see what I mean? I think we need something like that to.
We need to set up the whole course to get all the.
No, I think so.
Okay.
I mean, this is not this is not a 10% test of the controller, no, of the class. I mean, the wiki course output.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it tests everything that happens in the class.
No, it's a very, very short covert. This, no, I mean.
Yeah, it seems that way. So we shouldn't feel bad adding to it, I suppose. Do you understand why that? Okay, the describe. How well do you know R spec? I mean, because why is there a dot after the?
Yes, before after the quote.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that's probably a basic thing, but I don't really. So I think that let is fine. We can use that one, right?
Yes. So.
But now wait a minute. Maybe we shouldn't be testing this. Maybe we should just be testing the course object, the course class.
The course, yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
Because we're not testing. No, I don't. I disagree actually, because we don't want to change anything that happens in the course class. Maybe we just want to change what this lib class does to get information from the course class.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that's right.
Yes, I agree.
Okay. So let's go back to that.
I'm see. Maybe it's a factory. There's a factory that creates a course.
Okay. And is
Can
it
you see
used?
it?
Yeah, yeah. Do they use it in the test?
I think it is supposed that we should use it. Yes. So,
Okay.
but it has no instructor. Can you see? Factory
Yeah.
course, start date, end date, title, school, terms, log, passcode, but no
None
instructor.
of there's not a single factory that does that, that sets
No.
instructors.
Course users. Factory users. Nil. Oh. Oops.
I believe also the real name is fetched from the user record. I know we can. That's later. We can look at that later. But that seems like a different issue instead of an also on this one issue. I don't know.
I don't know neither.
I'm going to
I'm
ignore
kind
that
of
for now
lost.
because I mean it seems like maybe it was written at 3 in the morning or something. All right. Okay. So yeah, I think we should. So in order to have a course and be able to test
Yes.
whether or not we do need to mock a
Mhm.
course and add some things to it and then test whether and then including the date it was added or I mean add some instructors to the course and we need to
Yes.
be able to distinguish between instructor the way that the list is sorted when you just grab the first and
Uh-huh.
sorting by date and show that it doesn't necessarily work well now and then make a little adjustment to the code and then see if it's fixed. That's my understanding of the TDD procedure that we need to follow. So, but I'm a little bit
Yes.
confused about. Do you
Uh,
think we need a factory?
uh, or use a factory or create a mock
Yeah,
directly in the file. But
yeah. I think a mock might be
I
easier. I
mean,
mean, because we don't need. Do we need a? I don't think we need a whole. Well, we need a course object.
yes, and I am looking now at the course model to see what we need to build a course.
I see. Okay.
And uh, it has a lot of fields.
Yeah.
So we really need to create.
I feel like we shouldn't reinvent the wheel here because there's been so many tests already that do this kind of thing.
Yes.
Then we just need to sort of find maybe where that has happened and sort of yeah.
Mm.
Sorry, what? Oh, okay.
I am
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
now trying to find in courses controller in the spec for courses controller if
Where
how
the
they create the course,
that's a good idea.
where the course come from.
Let course
Create
right there.
course.
Course ID. Yeah, I think we just need to let.
Oh, they create the course, the user.
Yeah, using these let statements. That makes sense. And we just need to. This is a little tricky. How would you create a course, like to do the minimum necessary in order to get a list of instructors?
It should be in the factories. I mean, but
where with the factory we can use that to sort of overload the.
But the factory.
We need to maybe make a new factory, and one that has.
Yes, but I mean
instructors.
I doubt that nobody used the course before in the test. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not sure. No, I don't.
I mean, there are a lot of tests here, and I suppose a lot of them are using courses.
Yeah. With those let statements, I think those let statements were a good thing to look at.
Yes, but
did you not like that? Like in the course controller spec.
Yes, like let course, create course. Well, probably. It has to be. Yes, it has to be it.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But and then we need to create users too.
Yeah. And we have to create we have to create some instructors, more than one instructor. So we got to create a user associated with the course with that
Yes.
with that level of access. What was it? Number 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Permissions.
If you see in the factories, the users, we got a factory admin.
Yeah, but that's different from an instructor. No, maybe not. Permissions 1 is admin. Oh yeah, what were the levels of those again? There was those magic numbers that were defined.
I remember.
Was it in user, right? The user model.
It was 2.
Level 2 is the instructor?
I think so. I can't remember
I don't know
which file.
Why couldn't they use symbols for that so that we didn't have to go look it up? There's probably a reason.
What? Sorry?
Why couldn't they use the symbols instead of integers for the permission so that people doing it don't have to go look it up and see what the number is?
I don't know.
There's probably a reason. It's probably more efficient, and you just have to do it that way.
Yes, probably.
Okay, so are you certain it was 2?
Yes, I think so.
All right. Okay, perfect. So we should make a user
here in the factory.
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm reluctant to use factors. I don't know. Do you think that's a good idea? We just create users. Can't we just use let? What's the difference? Like why? Why we would have to use a factory rather than just let a user have certain characteristics?
I think when you do that line, let the one that line course create course.
Yeah.
Doesn't it use the factory file?
Oh, is that right?
No, I'm probably wrong. But
I didn't think that was true. But maybe it's true. Why do you think that's true?
Because
I know whether that's true or not. I mean, we can't just.
I mean,
now that there's that idea.
When you use the method create course.
Yeah.
Where is that method? Where is?
Right. Yeah, that's a good question. Is that so you're saying that that's a fact?
How does that method works?
Sorry?
How create course? How this method works?
I thought create was part of our spec. I guess I'm probably not right about that though.
Oh yes.
Is it? You don't think it's part of our spec?
Oh, maybe yes.
Now, hold on, let's look that up. That's an important piece of information.
Yes.
Interesting when you get down to it, you figure out what you don't know. Yeah, I guess you're right about that. It is a factory thing. You're right.
I am Google.
I think you're right about it, though.
Yes, I'm seeing here in Stack Overflow. It looks like create is called from factory girl.
Right, right.
Usually, you need to create object like factory girl dot create user or whatever. So
okay. So how does it know which thing to create? Let's take a look. You know what I mean? Like how?
Can you see the in the factory file for courses? Can you see it? Factory girl define do factory course. So I think this is what when we call create.
Oh, it's doing that.
This is what it yes.
Okay.
It's my guess. I'm not totally sure, but I think this is what.
So now, do these factories work where you say you create one of these, and can you send it? Can you override some of the parameters there, the characteristics of the course? Could you create a course, but give it a different title rather than?
Yes, I don't think so.
No. Okay, so we should probably
you need to define another course. You know, here we have a course, basic course.
Yeah, none of these have any instructors.
Legacy course. So like, I mean, if you want,
like we can do to. All right. Yeah, I guess you're right. But then we have to create some instructors. Well, go back. Is anybody creating any of these courses and doing anything with the instructors? This was supposed to be a simple.
I really thought
it is. It is relatively. I guess it's simple, but I mean, not that simple. I mean, basically, writing the code would be very simple, but we're trying to be good and figure out writing. The test for this is a lot harder than the code's going to be, because the code we're just going to have.
Sure, but
instead of saying first, we're just going to say get by, you know.
From my perspective, almost, or I'm not used with the TDD methods. So for me, every test is harder than the code itself.
Yeah.
You know,
this one in particular.
But in this case, yes, it's particularly
because we have to create a situation where we know it's going to fail. We know it's going to not find the first one. I'm not even sure how we're going to do that once we figure out how to get something to test to begin with.
Yeah,
so, okay,
I think.
So, all right.
What I mean is, what fails for me in the first place is a global perspective, where I know when you have a course, how the array of instructors is created, and what is the difference between the first instructor that was created, the first instructor that is
returned by yeah. Well, I think that's what we're trying to figure out. In some cases, there will be a difference between the first instructor that was added and the first instructor in a list that was retrieved through the course.
I don't know how this works.
Yeah,
how
it works. I don't either.
So, the first instructor is not necessarily the first one enrolled in the course, but it should be.
Yeah. So I mean, I think I understand the problem. Do you think that's a misunderstanding of the problem? The idea that it returns
No,
a
not
list
the
of,
problem, but how the course record is constructed. You know what I mean? So the course
yeah.
has an array of instructors, and how this array is built.
Uh,
You understand
yeah,
me?
yeah. That's a good question.
I mean, I don't know how it works. So that's why I thought it.
So,
Uh,
well, one way we could figure that out is to look at a place on the in the application where you can add an instructor and see what happens there. Well, that wouldn't teach us anything because it's just done the way it's usually done through active record, right?
yes, I mean, what I need to see is how a course object looks like. You know, or in the Rails console, or in the maybe we can debug
All
it
right.
and show it in the view. You understand?
Debug and show it in the view. Now, I'm not 100% sure I understand what you mean by that. No.
Um, there are some methods to show in the view while you are debugging a code
I'm sorry. Do you mean in the
to show the value of
you
an
mean in the browser?
yes,
In the
to show
browser.
the value sorry of a variable.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So like the console, the JavaScript
So
console.
like we have
Because
a course that we use in the
we can look
view,
at the
and
JavaScript console here, but I don't. I mean, that's just going to be the JavaScript console, though. I
or
think we
JavaScript,
can't.
yes,
Can we
maybe,
not look at?
maybe.
I don't know if we can look at the Ruby. I actually have never tried that. I believe you that it's possible, but I wouldn't know how to do it. Not to look at Rails values.
Uh,
I thought that was all server side stuff, so it was already not in variables by the time it's being rendered in the browser.
uh-huh.
Does that make sense? I didn't really think you could have access to the variables in a Rails application because they're server side variables, and so they've already been.
Yes, because I mean, what you get there is HTML.
Yeah, I mean you can look at JavaScript variables because it's JavaScript. It's
Huh.
browser side stuff. But maybe I'm misunderstanding what you're asking.
No, no, I think you understand, but I don't know. It's like you know PHP.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you do a bar dump or an echo for a variable, and you can see it
Oh, so you're talking
in the
about
screen. Yes.
like hacking the script and like outputting variables.
Yes. So I know that there is a method, but I can't remember it now.
That I don't think you can. You know there's a way to do it in Rails.
Yes, yes, it is for sure. I know there's a gem for this that I am sure that is already installed in the project.
Really?
I'm not
Okay.
sure something, but I can remember what
All right. Well,
the
but
method
so
was.
why would we try to? I'm forgetting why you said you wanted to do that.
To see what how the course is looks like. You know, the variable course.
Okay, I have a pretty good idea about what it would look like. I mean, it
Yes, and I mean yes. Okay, so the course has an array
yeah,
with
of instructors.
instructors.
Well, yeah.
Yes, and this array, how is it built? How you?
I don't know what you mean. How is
Uh,
it built? It's dereferenceable off of an instance variable. I
mhm.
right, and that ultimately it's retrieved from active record. We looked at the fact that it was done by using the
Yes, but I mean it is
database. has many, so we have like a.
I think instructors, the array of instructors is built based from the record
Right.
of course users.
Right.
From course users that has number two. Remember?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that makes sense. Courses users is like a junction table that has some extra information to determine
And
what level of permission the
okay,
user
and
has.
here, how do we know which one was the first one? Or
Well, do you remember when we looked at the user? Oh yeah. How do we know what was the first one
yes,
added? How's that information even? Does that information even exist anywhere? That's what you're asking. It's got
surely
to.
there is a timestamp or something
Right,
like
right.
that.
Date added sort of thing.
Okay. Now I think I'm beginning to understand
Okay.
the big picture about this.
All right.
So if we try to test it, we should create several course users with several dates, several timestamps.
We probably only need two.
We don't need, you say?
We probably only need two.
Two, yes, several two and in the first place, I mean, this is the first place. We need two course users.
I guess it would be useful to know how the default sorting happens. Maybe it's alphabetical, or maybe it's random. If it's random, it's going to be more difficult to test.
Yes, obviously.
But it can't be random.
Obviously.
It's by ID. Maybe it's by ID. But if it's by
ID should be related to the. I mean, the first ID should be the first one added.
I would think so. Yeah.
No, it makes sense.
So it can't be by ID, because if it's by ID, then it's always going to be the first one added. And he's saying that's not the behavior they're seeing. So it can't be that. It's got to be sorted by something else.
Maybe alphabetically, yes.
Alphabetically by what field, though?
By the name, by the username.
Yeah, all right, maybe. Well, let's test that. So how do we even test that? This is the tricky part. I have an idea conceptually of how to do it, but it's really I don't have a lot of experience actually doing it using RSpec.
No, me neither.
You know what I mean? Like, do we need to set up a bunch of crazy mocks and like we got to do all kinds of extra stuff?
Yes, I think we need to mark the users, the course, and then test with those the data.
Sounds good.
So I'm sorry, I have to go now. I have to.
Okay. All right.
It was a pleasure, and I am kind of intrigued how this can be solved. So
yeah. Well, do you want to try again?
Yes, but as I told you, the next week, next few days, I have no time.
You don't have time. Okay.
Both I am changing work.
I see.
I'm changing my home, so I have.
Yeah.
For a few days, I have no time, but
I understand.
Yes, in a week or so, I can message you when I have time.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good.
Yes, and if the issue is still available, we can have a look.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right. Thanks a lot.
And maybe talk with someone who can help us.
Yeah. I'm going to try to. I think I'm going to bring this issue to one of the scrums in the next couple days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
and
and
then
well,
I'll report back maybe. Well,
uh,
if you're interested.
yes, yes, I am, because as I say, I am intrigued
Okay.
what's happening here.
All right. Sounds good.
Yes, so I talk to you in a few days. We
Okay.
have some time and we try. Yes.
All right. Sounds good. All right. It was a pleasure. I agree.
Yes, totally. So, do you have the link for the course?
I'm not sure what you mean.
The link in the course. Are you doing the AV102 course? The
Yeah.
course for the TA. In the homework for the week 4, we need a link
Oh yeah.
for
I'll
the.
send you when we have this video. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds good. Okay.
So,
Too bad
well,
we
can
didn't get to write any code, but we did some investigation.
what? Sorry?
I said it's too bad we didn't really write any code, but we did do some investigation.
Yes, I think we can use it. I mean, if the staff of the course says that this is not valid, well, we can try again and send another. Or
I agree.
yes,
Okay.
but I will use this because I don't have. I will have no time to try another in a few days. So
Okay, I'll send you the link then.
You will post it in the Slack channel.
I will do that.
In the Slack,
I'll DM you with it.
well, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you.
All right, thank you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Likewise.
And, let's try again.
All right.
In a few days. Okay.
Okay. Good luck moving.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank